السلام عليكم يا شباب. النهاردة هنبدأ revision على الماتيريال covered for our trimester exam on the integral calculus. For a while questions, the basic techniques of integration, we're going to start by some problems. Okay, like question number 1, if I'm going to ask you here to integrate, a question like 6x squared minus 4x plus 1, dx. As you know, my question, it's supposed to be, from the symbol of the integration, and then the function that I'm going to integrate, and then dx. To use a basic technique of the integration, what I need from you is to make sure that you have a polynomial function like this, and then add 1 to your power, and then over the new power. Like 6x squared, it has to be 6x to the power 3 over 3, and then minus 4x squared over 2, and then plus the integration for any constant. So supposed to be here, have x, and then plus c. And after that, you have to put it in its simplest form. 6 divided by 3, it's supposed to be 2x power 3, minus 4 divided by 2 is 2x squared, and then plus x plus c. And so on. For any question like this, you have to add 1 to your power and then over the new power. But if I'm going to go to the second problem, another idea, if I'm going to give you here the integration for 5 over x to the power 3 dx. How do I integrate it? To integrate it, you have to move the x to the power 3 here to be written in the numerator, and to have a problem like this, 5x to the power negative 3 dx. And then after that, I'm going to add 1 to my power to be 5x to the power of negative 2 over negative 2, and then plus c. Okay. For the next problem, if I'm going to give you here another idea, like the integration for the square root of x dx. Integration for root x, for me, it's like x power half. So you have to rewrite your problem again. Okay. So whenever I'm going to rewrite my problem, it's going to be the integration for x power half and then dx. Okay. Just add 1 to your power. Half plus 1, it's supposed to be here x power 3 over 2, and then over 3 over 2, and then plus c. Okay. So it's supposed to be written in its simplest form, 2 over 3 x to the power of 3 over 2, and then plus c. Okay. Sometimes when it's coming in the MCQ question, it can be written as 2/3 x, power 3 below the root, and then plus c, as the square root of x power 3 is x power 3 over 2, And if I'm going to move to the next point, like I'm going to give you here like question number 4, in question number 4 here, if we have the integration for, 2x minus 1 all squared dx. As I told you, you have to simplify before the integration as much as you can. You have to expand your binomial squared here. So the integration for, I didn't integrate yet, so you have to expand it. Firstly here, 2x minus 1 all squared, so it can be expanded to be 2x all squared, which is going to be 4x squared, and then 2 multiplied by the first by the second, which is supposed to be negative 4x, and then the second term by itself, negative 1 multiplied by negative 1, it's a positive 1, and then dx. Just, do your integration as normal. 4x squared, it's going to be written as 4x to the power of 3 over 3, and then minus 4x to the power of 2 over 2, and then plus 1x, and then plus c. You have to put it in its simplest form as much as you can. 4/3 x to the power of 3 minus 2 x to the power of 2, and then plus x plus c. But if I'm going to move to the next problem, okay, for the next problem, if I give you here in question number 5, a question like this, okay, in question number 5, if I ask you here to integrate the x squared plus 4 all over x squared and then dx. Before going to integrate this, you have to put it in simplest form as much as you can. So I'm dividing each term by x squared, okay? I'm dividing each term by x squared. So here it's like I'm going to integrate the x squared over x squared plus the 4 over x squared dx. X squared over x squared, it's supposed to be here 1, so the integration of 1 plus 4 over x squared, so it can be written as 4x to the power of negative 2, and then dx, and then dx. Go ahead for your integration. The integration for 1 is a constant, so it's supposed to be 1x plus 4x, just adding 1 to my power to be negative 1, and then over negative 1, and then plus c, which can be written in simplest form to be x minus 4 over x, and then plus c. And for another idea here in question number 6. In question number 6 here, okay, if I ask you here, okay, number 6, to integrate the x minus root 5 multiplied by x plus root 5 dx. To integrate a problem like this, you have to put your product in its simplest form. Whenever I'm going to multiply them, you will get the first part itself to be x squared, okay? As I multiply into a conjugate expression, it's enough for me to multiply the first by first and second by second. Negative root 5 multiplied by positive root 5, so it's supposed to be negative 5. And then dx, okay? The integration for x squared, it's supposed to be here, x to the power of 3, okay, over 3, minus the integration of 5, it's supposed to be negative 5x, and then plus c. Don't forget, once you did your integration, you have to remove your integration symbol. You have to remove your integration symbol, okay? And for the next problem, if I ask you here in number 7, okay, in number 7, if I ask you here to integrate, okay, to integrate the 1 plus 3t multiplied by t squared dt, okay? So for a problem like this, you have to distribute the t squared here and here. So by distributing the t squared, I didn't do my integration. So you have to give me the symbol of the integration. T squared multiplied by 1, it has to be t squared plus 3 multiplied by t times t squared, it's supposed to be t3, and then dt, okay? Don't forget, I'm distributing because here the power of 1. The power is 1. So if it's not going to be 1, no, you will not be able to distribute it. So t squared, its integration is t to the power of 3 over 3, and then plus 3t to the power of 4 over 4, and then plus c, and then plus c. Okay, and for another idea, okay, if I'm going to give you here in question number 8. In question number 8, if I ask you here to integrate the y power 3 or y power 2 multiplied by square root of y dy. To integrate a problem like this, you have to put it in simplest form and then go ahead to integrate. So here, it's like the integration of y squared multiplied by square root of y power half, okay, and then dy. Y squared multiplied by y power half, so it's supposed to be in the multiplication, we are adding our powers. So 2 plus half, it's 2.5, or it's 5 over 2 dy, and I didn't do the integration yet, okay? And then go ahead and integrate. Just add 1 to your power to be y power 7 over 2, okay, over 7 over 2. and then plus c, okay? Just by adding 1 to my power and then over the new power. And for the next problems, okay, if I'm going to work on exponential function, okay, working an exponential function started from question number 9 here. If I ask it here to integrate, here you have a function that's written like e to the power x power 3, and here give you here x squared dx. As we covered it in the integration by substitution, the integration for any exponential function like e power x power 3, you have to check whether you have the derivative of its power or not. So here, the differentiation of x power 3, it's supposed to be 3x power 2. But Mr., we don't have any 3x power 2. I have x power 2, okay? So since the 3 is messed, so you have to give me 3 here and take 1/3 here, okay? So your final answer, it's supposed to be 1/3 and take the e to the power x power 3 and then plus c. So my final answer, it's supposed to be e3 multiplied by e power x cubed and then plus c. For question number 10. For question number 10, if I ask you here to integrate e power 2x dx. Before going to integrate the e power 2x, you have to check whether the derivative of your power is written already or not. So the 2x here, its differentiation is 2, so you have to check whether you have 2 or not. I don't have it. So you have to give me 2 here, and then take the half here. You have to take the reciprocal of the number that you're going to input. So my final answer is going to be half, and then e power 2x plus c, okay? For the next point, okay, number 11, okay? If I give you here the integration for e power x over 3 dx. But for x over 3 here, the integration, the differentiation for x over 3, it's 1/3. So you have to give me here 1/3. So the integration for the reciprocal of 1/3, it has to be 3. So my final answer, it's supposed to be 3, and then write the e as it is, e to the power x over 3, and then plus c. For question number 12, if I'm going to work on, okay, number 12, if you know that the integration of e power x dx, okay, as we have here, the differentiation for the x here is 1, so I'm not going to write 1. It's already written. It's already written. So the integration here is supposed to be the e as it is, e to the power of x and then plus c. So as you know now, the integration for e power x is going to be e power x itself, okay? And if I'm going to go to another point, okay, like from question number 13, okay? From question number 13, if I ask you here, okay, to integrate, okay, to integrate, like you have x squared minus 5 all to the power 7, and it was multiplied by x dx. Whenever I'm going to ask you here to integrate a function with its own power, you have to check whether if you have the differentiation for that function is written or not. So the differentiation for what's inside my function here, it's 2x, and the -5 will not give me anything else. So x squared is supposed to be 2x, so you have to give me 2 here, and take the half here out of my integration. So my final answer, it's supposed to be 1/2, and take your function, which is supposed to be x squared minus 5, all to the power of 8, and then over 8. Just add 1 to your power, and then, okay, divided by the new power, plus c. All of what you can do here, you have to multiply the denominator, 2 times 8 to be 16, and right here, x squared minus 5, all to the power of 8, and then plus c. And for the next point, if I'm going to ask you here to integrate for question number 14, okay, if I ask you here to integrate, okay, the x squared multiplied by square root of x power 3 minus 2, and then dx. Actually, Okay, actually, the square root for me here, it's like power half. So I'm going to work on, here you have x power 2 multiplied by x power 3 minus 2 all to the power of half dx. Okay, the differentiation for what's inside my function is 3x squared, but I don't have any 3x squared. You had x squared. You don't have 3x squared. So you have to give me the 3 here, which is masked, and take 1/3 here. So my final answer is supposed to be 1/3, and take your function, which is x to the power of 3 minus 2, and 1 to have to be 3 over 2, and then over 3 over 2, and then plus c. Okay. So to integrate any function, what I'm going to write here in my note, okay, if we have here a note, whenever you are going to integrate a function, f of x, with a power n, and it was multiplied by its differentiation, dx, my final answer, it would be the f of x all to the power n plus 1, and then over n plus 1, and then plus c. And for, if I'm going to move to the next point, Next point, if I ask you here, okay, to integrate for question number 15, if I ask you here to integrate this function, x squared minus 5x plus 1, and then here you have 2x minus 5 dx. Whenever I'm going to ask you here to integrate a fraction, and the function is written in the denominator, and its derivative is written in the numerator, the differentiation of x squared is 2x, and the differentiation of negative 5x is negative 5. Okay, so if you're going to meet this case, so your final answer is supposed to be ln the denominator, which is supposed to be x squared minus 5x plus 1, and then plus c. But sometimes I'm going to give you another problem like number 16 here, okay, which is the integration of, okay, here, x squared minus 6x plus 7, okay, and I give you here x minus 3 dx. Okay, Mr. Here in a problem like this, the differentiation of my function is not written in the numerator. My derivative is 2x minus 6, but I need 2x minus 6. You don't have 2x minus 6. So you're going to get the 2x minus 6 if you're going to multiply here by 2. Okay, since you input 2, you have to take half here, okay, of my integration. So my final answer can be written as half, and then ln the denominator, which is supposed to be x squared minus 6x plus 7, and then plus c. So for the next point, before going to the next point, I'm going to write my note here. Whenever you're going to integrate a function, okay, that's written as a denominator and its derivative is written in the numerator, okay, so my answer it will be ln the denominator, ln the f of x, and then plus c, okay, ln the f of x, and then plus c. That's why whenever I'm going to ask you here in question number 17, okay, I ask you here to, in question number 17, to integrate the 1 over x dx, okay? So as you have here, the differentiation of x is 1. The differentiation of x is 1. That's why my answer it will be ln x and then plus c. But if I'm going to ask you here to integrate, okay, to integrate the integration here for 7 over x dx. Actually, for any constant, it can be separated out of my integration to be written as 7 multiplied by the integration of 1 over x dx, okay, which can be 7 ln x, and then plus c. So the integration of 7 over x, it comes for me as 7 ln x. If it's going to be 2 over x, so it's supposed to be 2 ln x, 5 over x, 5 ln x, okay? So here for this tutorial, guys, we covered most of the basic techniques of the integration, okay? And for the next video, we're going to explain the techniques of the integration of the trigonometric functions. See you. Thank you.